Oh shit, man. Well,
Uh-oh.
first things first, before anything else, bro. You know what I told you? I said, Hart, you're back in men's physique, man. So you know what that means. You need to come back with the
Oh my God.
we need that old Hart back.
Wow,
Where do you
We
bro.
need
get
that
this
old
stuff
Hart
at?
back. For this,
Holy shit. Can you leave that on?
bro, I'm gonna leave this on for the entire no, I'm not. But bro, I had to go on Amazon Prime, like the closest thing to your old haircut, man. We miss you, bro.
Bro, that's pretty good, bro. That's hilarious. I didn't know they sold that shit.
All we need is a don't quit sign right here, and then we're back
Hey, I
officially.
got a question. Was that under 2 day shipping for Amazon? Like, did they have that readily available in your
Yeah,
warehouse?
yeah, bro, it's weird. I don't know why. I don't know how it got to me so fast, but I'm happy that it did. But Hart, seriously, man, how's everything been? I can't even take it serious with this.
Good, bro. Everything's been good. Drew, what's going on? I see you. I see
What's
you
up,
up there,
man?
dog.
Yeah, how are you, man?
Looking good. You got that like pyramid going to your head right now. That's like perfect over here.
Yeah, I just got my hair cut today. Alex knows. Called me this morning.
Bro, we all look pretty clean. Alex looks good. I look good. Chris, what you got under there, dog?
Oh, this? Oh, I got hair
Yeah.
transplant hair growing back right here, baby. Right here. It's coming back.
There you go.
There you
Hmm.
go.
But
I'm gonna
Hart,
need
seriously,
one soon,
man,
bro. I feel like this Masteron is slowly eating away at my hairline.
is he back
Let's do
on?
that.
Yeah, I'm back on. I'm a month back on. I'm
Oh,
on
let's
test
go.
sip and I'm on Masteron. I feel
I saw
amazing.
I saw you post something about potentially starting a prep or going into an off season. Is that something you're thinking about?
Maybe if I had the money to pay a coach. Hmm.
Fair enough, fair enough.
At least you're
But
honest.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm dead honest.
but seriously, man, how's everything been?
Good, bro. I feel like I'm just finally ready to attack it again. I in my video today, I was like, for the last year, I try to work a normal job, bro, and I just can't, bro. I can't do it. I can't sit there and do that shit, especially after doing what I did for a few years to be controlled, to have a boss, to be micromanaged, to make, chump change, to like give your soul to a company to make someone else's dreams come true, bro. I couldn't fucking do it, bro. I can't
Yeah,
do that shit. So I'm like, I just got to do this, bro. Like what?
yeah, go back all in on it. Like, have you been following men's physique really since the time?
No, bro, I haven't watched anything. I haven't watched anything. I haven't been following. I don't know what happened last year. I couldn't name the top seven at the Mr. Olympia if I tried.
Damn. So, what did you just take that full step back away from men's physique during that whole time, just focusing on like that 9 to 5 life, and then came to self-realization that shit, this isn't for me?
Yeah, bro. I was down and depressed and crying most days and unaligned with my purpose and running around, starting a job for a week, quitting it, starting another job for a week, quitting it, letting people down, letting my girl down, letting myself down, letting you guys down, the community down, bro. I've had the hardest year personally for me, and it's all just been here, bro. It's just here. Everything's fine, but it's
Yeah.
just here. I struggle for sure.
I've noticed a shift in the content you produced lately where there's some kind of message tied to it that's focused more towards the mental health side of things, which Drew and I talk about this all the time, how important it is to prioritize the mental health, especially within bodybuilding. So is
Mm.
that a new approach you're taking to the content you're going to start producing now?
Yeah, bro. If I could throw that in at the end, I think my soul would appreciate that. It kills me, me personally, Alex Bhuwan. What's going on, dog? It
What's
kills
going
me
on?
personally to just cover the news just
Yeah,
because I did it for so long. That's one of the reasons I did exit. It just got too monotonous for me, and I need to like find more purpose. You saw my other videos where I was more spiritual and talking about shit. So like I got to find a way to create this men's physique content, but also like make people feel something more than just the news. The news is amazing. It's great, but people see it on Instagram. They see it on other channels. It's like, okay, when I come in, am I just going to do the same exact thing that I always did? It's like, I got to mix it up somehow. And I'm still trying to figure that out.
yeah, bro. I think you hit the nail on the head, man. And that's why this podcast, I feel like it meant so much to us, is because this was our way of giving back to people while also adding an entertainment aspect. But you're
Mhm.
right, as somebody who produces similar content, it does get repetitive, right? And it comes to a point of like impact, right? So that's when Men's Physique Radio started. It was like, okay, entertainment is one thing. That's awesome, right? Allowing people to escape when they're doing their, cardio. but the impact of something that's going to leave with them following a conversation, bro, that's everything. You know what I mean? And I like your twist on that because truthfully, listening to that portion, I feel like that's the part that flows so easily and so fluently off your tongue on your most recent episodes.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Bhuwan, how you feeling, bro?
What's up, man? I'm good. I'm so glad to see Hart here. I've
No.
noticed his
Oh,
comeback, and when I saw he was one of the guests, I'm like, oh hell yeah.
stop. Stop.
Oh
What's up,
man.
Drew? What's up, Chris?
How's
What's up,
it
man?
going?
How you doing?
Bro, I was
Good.
expecting your face to be a little rounder at this point. He said, "No, I'm sticking to it."
Dude, today I woke up at the stage weight, like literally I'm like on the exact same stage weight. 210 was my stage, like show day weight, and today I was 210.
Fuck, bro.
So
Jesus.
I was like, okay, I need to up my food. I did not do my cardio today, and I'm like, okay, the food goes up.
So, how's everything been following the show?
It's good. As soon as I finished my show, I took the first flight. I mean, I was scheduled for the first flight like at 4 a.m. And I got back and it was just like, I just had so much work to do. And I was just back to just catching up on all my gym stuff and just wanted to like be in my routine and just kind of like, start planning for the next season.
Yeah, I get you, man.
Because it's been a long prep for me. Like honestly, like I feel like this was the longest prep of my life. Like I did 26 weeks, which even in 2019, when I did 6 shows, I did not push for 26 weeks. It was, I think, 24, 23 max. So yeah, it just took a toll too. Like just the prep stuff itself, like it just did take it also. I was just so relieved in a way to just just have a little non-prep time, but at the same time, like I don't really care about the food or like going off the plan and all. So I'm like, that's why I said like I woke up with the same weight, but we're still focusing on the recovery aspect and yeah, just keeping things busy.
Yeah, man. I know you got a lot on your plate right now. And prepping for as long as you did with, building a gym, already having multiple businesses that you operate. I'm sure it's nice to take that mental step back now and put that mental allocation towards, revenue streams, whatever it might be.
Oh man, it's crazy. It's my first time like actually like I guess balancing everything, and it's so different because I think as soon as you get off of that prep mode, you start feeling like so energized with everything else. Like you start feeling
Yeah,
like okay, you can actually use your brain, and
yeah.
you've been dead for I don't know so many weeks.
You said it perfectly, brother. And this is how sometimes I look at prep. It forces you in such a tunnel vision sometimes that no matter like even if you feel okay, like you're not crazy low, like you're such in a tunnel vision that only one thing matters, that like
Yeah,
you have a bad check-in, but you might have the
yeah,
best date in business, right? That bad check-in weighs heavier than like everything else during that day because so much emotion is put towards stepping on stage in X amount of time. And I noticed that with myself, bro. Manifest was doing so well when I was prepping, but I
yeah.
had one bad check-in. I didn't like lose weight, whatever, right? And
Everything gets crumbling down now.
everything else felt like it was minute compared to that one small little detail, bro. And uh,
Yeah, that's definitely something I've noticed this prep. Like it was a very different experience. Like I've balanced things before as well, but it's just something that are like big, like Manifest is like a big project where you have other people that, trying to have a meeting with you because coaching is, I feel like that's why everybody, I guess all of us even do that. It's just so easy to balance it with prep. But as soon as you start involving other people, where you have to like be the leader or you have to take care of other people's
emotion.
schedule or something, that's where things really get going down
Yeah.
because they're relying on you. What I realize is like as soon as you have a team and you have people and employees, they rely on you.
Yep.
And you are taking the time and mentally you're checked out and you're focusing on that. Yes, they can support you, but they're still needing direction from you. And I think that is where I think for me personally, that was the biggest challenge and something I know that I have to continue to get better at. Because yeah, that is not easy. Coaching is okay, you can manage it.
See, it's not the daily grind of the coaching of the check-ins and
Yeah.
it's dealing with the other people's emotions when your emotions are already heightened, right? It's saying if you're in prep, it took me a few preps to balance that before I can become extremely efficient and do it at a high level. But I'm telling you, man, it's the dealing with the I don't feel like
It's
I
a psychology.
yeah, it's again, because especially if you coach a lot of newer athletes or athletes who are looking to get their pro cards, like so it's different. Like the weight of the world feels like it's on you for that in that moment.
Dude, and like what you were just saying too, like how you say sometimes your emotions are heightened. Like mine become non-existent. Like I become emotionless. So like whenever some of my clients come to me with problems, I'm in this mode that I'm thinking, okay, like I need to suck up everything in my life, and I'm in prep, and I'm not like really tapping into their emotions and understanding how they're feeling. So I'm just kind of brushing off their feelings. I'm like, hey, you can get the work done. Like, stop worrying about these things. But whenever I'm in the off season, I'm more emotional. I have more time. I'm diving into those things and being mentally aware of that while you're going through it and knowing that you have those behaviors going on. You become a better coach over time, knowing that you're constantly going through that. You know,
I think what helped me is like actually having dedicated times for, like, as you said, to have those emotions. Because for me personally, I know like when I wake up and I'm having like, let's say, coffee, or just as I've had about an hour to kind of like kill before I do my cardio, that's actually the best time where actually I can like be about other people. And then, you know, like right before, after my workout, 2 hours after that, I have a little brief period. Outside of that, I really don't have the time for the emotions. But when you have so many other employees that don't stick to the schedules, it's kind of like an 8 hour, 9 hour, 10 hour workday thing. That's where things got tricky for me. It was my first time also understanding that. With clients, I'm like, okay, these are the times, this is when I'm going to be most active, especially if it's emotional stuff. But then when people are coming to you at 12 p.m. and then at 12:30, and I'm doing my cardio, and I'm like, holy shit, like, how do I do this? How do I switch this off and switch this on? I think that was the biggest challenge. And I know it's just something that, again, as you mentioned, Chris, you get better even at coaching as you compete more and more and start to find your own sweet spot. And I think it's the same thing with the other stuff as well. Like, I just have to kind of find that sweet spot and get better at it.
It's a balancing act, man. It's one of those things that takes time, and you kind of go learn the most while you're going through it. Drew.
That's it. First time when you do a prep and you're coaching, like let's say you started coaching, I'm sure everybody is like, what is going on? It's like, I don't know, to deal with your life. I'm like, do you know what I'm going through?
Bro, I had a client, it was Dorian. I'll never forget this. Dorian's a guy I turned pro last year. He's doing his pro debut soon. Bro eats like 300 grams of carbs on a low day, and he's complaining that he's like dying inside. And I'm sitting here, like, I'm zero carbing it. I'm 5
Me too. I'm at 280 right now.
See what I mean?
Oh my God.
And I'm sitting here like, it's so that was the hard part for me, like hearing them complain.
Okay, tell me one thing. I think I can ask all of you guys this one thing. Has that happened with you when you are in deep in prep and you are actually like checking in with a client and you started just going at it? It's like, hey, like, do you understand? Like, you're actually doing very good. You're just like going at them.
Yeah.
Because they're like, are you really complaining to me right now? Do you know?
Yeah.
We view it from our perspective. So when you're at the elite level, you know, we don't make excuses, especially me. You know, I was shot, you know, I have every bit to be making excuses. And when somebody, I gotta, you know, my knee hurts or whatever, it's just programmed in me to just be like, dude, you got to suck it up. I'm the last person to be complaining to, and you either want this or you don't. And some people aren't programmed that way. So I have to understand that, you know, my experiences aren't theirs.
Yeah.
So it's everybody's different, man. And I do a lot of lifestyle coaching for people. I feel like not just competitive, but a lot of people that are heavier and out of shape, you could really change their life just by, you know, giving them a structured program that they'd never had before. Yeah. And that's a little bit easier to me because the expectation is just to lose weight. Now, for stage, the expectation is so much greater. You know, you got to be as peeled as possible. You got to maintain size. You got to use gear if you want to place, to be honest, unless you're doing the naturals. But I mean, that also has its own, you know, tedious, intricate details. But I prefer doing lifestyle. But like I said, not everybody is like us. So you got to kind of cater to it. But when I'm in prep, I do get those moods and switches to where I feel like, okay, listen, bro, like you got to shut the fuck up. You know, but I catch myself, you know.
100%.
I think it's just more difficult when you're in prep, like closer to the show. I know I've had those moments, like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
I could not switch it off that, okay, I'm on prep and I need to be more empathetic. I'm like, do you really understand you're complaining about something that people here just want?
It's so simple.
Yeah, exactly.
My least favorite one, or I guess my favorite one, would be whenever you give someone a refeed. And we all know you get super hungry the day after a refeed, right?
Yeah.
So they'll eat a burger or they'll go out and have like 600 grams of carbs. And then the next morning I get the text every single time, why am I so hungry? And I'm like, well, your metabolism's firing again finally. I go, you should feel happy about this. They're like, no, this sucks. I'm like, all right, I just gave you 10 meals with 100 grams of carbs in each. Like, have a good day.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. It doesn't take them. It doesn't take them any time, and they're just coming back to like, hey, can I increase my food? Can you increase my food?
Yeah, it's a lot of novice stuff, but again, it's rewarding. I think when you see a client get it for the first time, that's moments that you hold on to.
They need to see it too themselves, and that's when they really catch on, because you become addicted to the process once you see it works.
Hell yeah! All right, let's jump into this, guys. There's a lot to cover in men's physique this week, and I want to get your guys' opinion on a few things. All right, we're gonna play this video first.
Click me like a motherfucker and put me on the gram, and I don't care. Click any of this shit, bro. I don't care if I'm talking about motherfuckers or not. Click that shit and put it on the gram.
Hey,
tell me what I said. And I know you're going to click me like a motherfucker and put...
All right, did you guys get a chance to watch this interview?
I watched the whole thing, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Hart, you watch it?
I watched the reel.
Yeah.
I watched the reels too. I didn't think I watched the whole interview yet.
Yeah, well, it gives some context to a lot of the aggressive stuff that he says, but I want to get your guys' opinion.
Yes, I think Arnold should shut the fuck up about the board short. What the fuck makes us think he gonna win? But yo, bro, if he gonna sit here and act like that top 10 wasn't gifted last year, he's out of his fucking mind, bro. We would look at him like he's blowing dick. You got a really exclusive interview, because I ain't been saying none of this shit, yo. He wasn't no fucking fourth place in that show.
First thing I want to talk about throughout this whole thing, what he specifically said about Jeremy Buendia, him having a chance to be in that conversation for the win this year. Do you guys agree with what he said? Or do you think
I agree with everything he said, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I only didn't agree with one thing that he said. Everything else I agreed with, besides one thing.
What was that one thing you didn't agree with?
I think I know what it is.
So he prides himself on keeping it real, so I'm going to keep it real right now. This is anything about Andre. Andre is, I would say, the most successful men's physique athlete there is to ever grace our stage. But if you're going to go on there and say that you could easily win the Mr. Olympia this year if you tried, and you haven't been trying, that's a load of shit, okay? You've already tried to win the Olympia many other years before, and you've came up short, okay? So for you to say that you can win the Olympia if you tried, and you were talking about all these other endorsements and things like saying, hey, I'm going to win. If I win master shows, I'm going to get more of a check. Bro, if you win the Olympia, you get the biggest check there is, plus the endorsements with it, okay? So you'd make more money than if you did every single Masters show in the year. Okay, so I think it's a little bit of a smack in the face to the Olympia winners whenever you say that you would win if you actually tried. Like, you're that above everyone else that if you just all of a sudden tried and then eat McDonald's or cookies one day, you would be good. Okay, so that's the only thing that bothered me. Everything else he said, I thought was spot on, but I just didn't agree with that statement one bit.
Yeah, I've seen a downshift in the physique that he's brought in over the last couple of years, and I've always wondered if it was age, if it was just him deciding not to go all in. And based off the interview, he's saying the fact that it's just the fact that he's taking his foot off the gas, right? He likes to eat cookies with his daughter. He likes to travel.
I believe that. Yeah,
X, Y, and Z. But where do you think that he would place then if you think he brought the best version, or at least what you think could be the best version of his modern physique?
8th.
So you see him in the top 8. What about you, Hart?
Yeah, top 10.
Top 10.
Outside the top 5.
Go on.
Yeah, I think somewhere between 5 and 10. Yes.
I just think that with his physique that he has right now, I think some of those guys that are a little bit more polished and rounded out, like the Ed Vons, the Vitors, I don't think he could beat them with the size and just pure level of just structure they have right now. Back in the day, obviously, I think Andre has one of the best structures, best looks. I mean, I think he has the best look ever at that Arnold he won with the red shorts.
2018.
Yeah.
It's the best look men's physique has ever seen.
Still gives me chills when I think of it.
Yep, but his physique now obviously doesn't mirror that. Now he still has the same shape, structure. It's downsized a little bit, I think, since that time. So I would put him right above those guys that have a little bit of a superior structure right now because they're younger, more full, they look more fresh, things like that.
Hart, what do you feel?
I think it just comes down to work too. I think Andre, we all know, has like the best or one of the best structure shapes, abs, like the front poses, even a great back. But the thing is, like, now there's so much talent, and the younger guys, they are also working and harder and they're hungrier. I think that working harder is where he is kind of like towards a little back, because sure, he has the great shape and the structure and everything, but a lot of the other guys also have that, and they're so hungry They train like their life depends on it. They diet like their life depends on it. That's where we start talking like hard work beats talent, right? And what happens when talent works hard. So now we have a talented guy that's not working as hard, but then we have another talented people that are working their ass off and they're so hungry that their life depends on it. How do you beat that?
Yeah, I think you just brought up a good perspective. We always, you said it perfectly. This is a prime example of somebody with all the genetics in the world, but
Yes.
it just, and he says it, I'm not working hard. That's not where I'm at in my life. You know what I mean?
You can be a lot of hard workers, and that's what happened in the past with a lot of the, the titles and a lot of the times he has. But then now things are different. There's also a lot more talent, and that talent is working harder than him.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
There's never been a moment that Andre has ever said anything that I didn't think he didn't believe. Every time I've talked to him in person, he talks his shit and he has points, and you can't really refute a lot of these points. What I got from that video was, it made a lot of sense of what he said. He's very logical. He wants to go and enjoy the O while getting a bag for master shows. And, he wants to be able to enjoy life. He's already put in his years, and he said 2018, he was cutthroat. He's not at that point anymore. Sometimes you just lose that, taking a break and really looking back. And like he was talking about, like, it's not about the drive, the destination, it's looking out the window. And it resonates a lot with myself as well, because sometimes these preps and these shows go by so fast that you're like focusing on the other one before one even happened.
Yeah.
There's so many guys that are worrying about doing the Olympia or qualifying for next year's Olympia now, when this year's Olympia hasn't even happened. And it takes away from sometimes the purpose, I'm training and doing everything I can, like my life depends on it. But at the same time, I want to get a bigger payout than just being on stage at my best. I want to be able to enjoy it with my family and friends who support me through this. So I think he's put his time in and he's paying his dues, and he kind of sees the bigger picture for what it is. So I've always respected what he says, whether I agree with some of the things that he says or not. He always has a point that I could, reference and kind of look at and be like, okay, I could see that. Like, it makes sense to me.
I'll tell you one thing, Joe. I've talked to him at so many dark sport shoots and stuff, and he is not trying to be Mr. Olympia. He doesn't want to. He's not trying. Whereas the hungry, like, the guys that I was talking about, like, they're actually trying to be ranked. He's not trying. He's competing for fun.
Yeah.
He's competing for just like
he's enjoying it for the first time. Yeah,
he's enjoying the process. He doesn't care. He doesn't have that vision, like, what tunnel vision that we were talking about. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have that. He just wants to like party, have fun.
I think people underestimate how calculated and smart Andre really is.
Yes, they don't.
He's a really smart guy.
Another guy. Yeah.
Yes, he's a really smart guy, and he has an answer for everything, and it's very quick. And when you break it down, it's like, holy shit, it makes sense, even if you never look at it that way.
And he's very good with his money, and he's very good with finances. I think people.
I was going to say he seems like on camera and everything, he seems like one of the most unfriendly people because of the language he uses and his things he talks
Especially
about.
watching that clip, though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Nobody can think that.
Hey,
the whole video was not like that.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
Before we go anywhere, I do want to say that you're 100% right, Drew. I encourage everybody to go watch the full podcast before anything else. BTS podcast, they released it. It was a phenomenal podcast. Yes, there are a lot of firing moments in there, but there's also moments where you sit back and say, holy shit, this is a lot of wisdom coming from somebody who's been in the game for so damn long. And that's what I realized. It wasn't the fiery moments that locked me in. It was more of him when he was talking about,
the business perspective, how many people are on stage, men's physique, if they're going to make a level below that. Like his points, it was like, he came out with perspectives that I never thought of, and they make sense, and he said had a bachelor in finance. He's a banker. He knows the payouts, the money, take $100K away from, the open guys make and spread it through these smaller winners, we'll feel 30K. The overall winner or bodybuilding, he won't feel, he's already making so many hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's not going to feel that 50K like we will.
Yeah. Hart, were you going to say something before?
I was just going to say, I think Andre's, unlike some guys in the league, I think Andre's very honest with himself. Bhuwan, you said he doesn't want to win the Mr. Olympia, because I think he believes at this point he can't. He can't win the Mr. Olympia. Yeah. And the fact that he's honest with himself about that is pretty dope. I'd like to hear him say it. Maybe I'll get it out of him.
Well, that was my point.
I think you could get the part that I said out.
Yeah.
That's true.
But that was the point I was trying to make originally, is that he was alluding to the fact that like he's not trying because I thought in his mind he's thinking, okay, like it's well, he did say it out loud. He said it's too hard to get to that spot in the life that I'm living right now. Like I'm enjoying my life. But then later on in the podcast, he had said if I wanted to win it, I could. That was the only thing that bothered me. Everything he said was freaking true, and I love his mindset, all that stuff.
Chris, he said that. He said if he wanted to try, he could win the Mr. Olympia.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
Dre, come on.
That was the only thing.
Bhuwan.
I do know a lot of the top guys now were still around and placing well at the Olympia when Andre was at his peak prime. Now, who's to say that we couldn't see a peaked prime Andre now, regardless of age or whatever? Because when I've seen him at Universe, the dude's eating like a French toast breakfast when he's like 2 weeks out from shows. Like, this isn't bullshit, bro. Like, talking about eating muffins and cupcakes with his daughter. Like, you know, he's beating these guys at 85%.
Let me ask you a question on that. Okay. Is it harder to compete in today's Olympia? So this Olympia this year, is it harder than in, let's just say, 2018, 2019?
Yes, of course.
Did Dre win in 2018, 2019?
No, he didn't.
Do you think he could come in better than he did in 2018, 2019?
I don't think he doesn't believe he can't win. I think he truly believes he can win. I really do. Okay. And there's a lot of guys, the same thing with Buendia. I think he truly believes in himself that he can win, even though he hasn't done anything in years. You know, it's the same thing with me. Like, I truly believe I could be in a top 6. I truly do. I know that I have weaknesses, but I know I could do it. Now, regardless of what other people think or say, that's up to them to distinguish. But exactly. I know what I could do or what I want to do, and I'm going to keep working to achieve that. Now, the only difference is Andre isn't giving 100% to achieve that, and he said it openly. But the discrepancy is, if he tried, could he? He believes he can, and I don't doubt that he thinks that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
So
I don't think it was the ruffle any feathers, bro.
I don't think he's ever going to accept that.
No,
he's going to try his 100%. So that's just you know.
But we know for facts that he's not 100%. It's not just like he's saying, you know, to disrespect other competitors. Like, I've seen it in person.
He admits it.
I've talked to him many times. Yeah.
He
didn't even think about it, bro. He knew as soon as those questions were asked, and it just seemed like he had an answer for everything because he knows, and that's how you know shit's honest.
Oh yeah. Go on. Do you agree with that? Do you see a world where Jeremy Buendia could be in that top 5 conversation this year?
This year, I think we had the same conversation in the last podcast I was in with you guys, and I think the thing is, it doesn't really change much from what we had discussed before. I think it's not really possible, but again, how much can you improve? There's only 8 weeks left, isn't it? Like 8 or 9, and we agreed on like the 5th, 6th position, something like that, I believe. So I think I still kind of believe like the absolute best peak Jeremy is in that 6, 7, you know, maybe 8 place.
What would he have to do to be there structurally? What would he have to do?
Simon, structurally,
he can't really do anything. It's just peaking at his absolute best and just looking that part and just bringing the Jeremy from 2017, but bigger, denser, which I believe he's definitely bigger. But that peak was his best peak.
Yeah, I don't think bigger would help him because he's built in a way to where he looks a lot bigger at his height to where it could also throw off his proportions. He's very arm dominant. He has a really, really good chest. He has a longer torso, but I still feel like the overall look has just changed dramatically.
Yeah.
Hart, what do you think? Do you think that Jeremy Buendia could be in that conversation this year for the win if he nails his look?
No, I honestly don't. Every time Jeremy turns around, I don't like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we all be in agreement that we all would love to see him in the top 5, though?
Yeah. Hell yeah. For the league, for the hype, for everyone. Yeah.
Nobody denies his legendary status. Nobody denies having that one last show and just, you know, watching him.
Could this hurt him? Could this hurt him? If he goes to the Olympia and places outside of the top 10, can this hurt him?
No, because I think 2 years ago already is why people aren't believing the hype anymore. Because if he was going to do good, it would have been there. And 8th, I don't think was the expectation. I think people truly thought then he would do well because we had no expectation. He didn't compete since 2017. So now that he's already been 8 and people are saying it was gifted, there's no real expectation. Everything that he's talking about, and Andre said this, like, it holds no weight.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Hart, what do you think about the day of modern day men's physique? I know you haven't been following it a lot right now, but I feel like it has changed since you've been on the scene was just last year. I feel like this year men's physique has shifted a little bit. I'm curious to know, like, what is your outside perspective now coming back inside the door of the current day and age of the division?
Like physique wise.
Yeah, physique wise, I'm not even gonna say drama wise, but just like the storylines. Like, have you seen anything that you liked, or is it any more of the same?
I think it's cool this year that, I think the main focus right now, at least to me, what I see, what I feel, like literally, I haven't talked or looked at anything in over a year, and I just did a few days ago for the first time. The two guys that I see, obviously, and the ones that you're probably thinking of right now are Ali versus Terry. And
Yeah.
every year, every couple of years, it kind of stays the same. It's like Banks, Brandon, Brandon, Terry, Banks, Terry, and now we have Ali and Terry. And that's really exciting to me because it feels like every single year, every other year, there's a couple guys that are gunning for this first thing, for the first prize, and it always changes. It always changes. It's so interesting. What I would say, what's my little off, I mean, moving a little off topic, the craziest thing for me to see this year, I don't know how I saw it on my Instagram, was to see Brandon do a normal show and lose.
Yeah.
That shocked the shit out of me, bro. It really did. Just because I'm just so used to him winning. Not saying he doesn't have flaws, especially from the back, but just to see that pinnacle of a man in the division not win a regular pro show, I was like, that bro, that's very strange. So now this year's Mr. Olympia, it's like I kind of feel bad for B. I feel like he's kind of getting pushed out, and it's Ali and Terry's game. Like the primary focus is going to be on them. I'm going to make content on them all year round.
Yeah.
100%. That's who I feel like the priority is. As far as like the evolution and everything changing, everyone, there's so many hitters, bro. There's so much talent. I love it so much. I can't believe this is happening. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Do you feel the standard of Mr. Olympia for men's physique has changed over the years? Like what you just said, what I want to say is like the standard physique has changed.
Yes.
It changes every 2 to 3 years.
Yes, that's what I was going to get at. I literally, yes, Alex, you got it. That is what I was going to say. It is because I asked Hart that because I know that he left the game like in that time frame, and then he started the game around that 2019, 2020 time frame. So you've seen that three progression so far. So yeah.
The simplest way to say it, and this is, I think Brandon is a combination of everything, but let's be real. At one point, it was more of a muscle thing when you looked at Brandon. He was the densest one on stage. And during his reign, it was like, oh shit, okay, a lot of muscle. People chased that a little bit, but then what overcame that became the structure game, right? The structure and conditioning was, I'm not gonna say carried less weight, but
structure game, Alex, sorry to cut you off, but the structure game started at Raymond.
Yes, Raymond, Aaron took it from there.
Yes.
And then from that, it became the conditioning game, right? And that's where you see the Ryan Terry and the Ali Bilal. And that's where right now we've been living.
I would say the first title that Ryan won was the conditioning thing. And then after that, the division kind of just geared towards his look, which Ryan Terry is at. So now, and I'm telling you this like based on like literally just competing and going against like 3 different judges. It is an abs show now. And it's so like to me, the biggest shock was it just was never even mentioned before. It used to be like, no, this is not the thing. The thing is like conditioning. Yes, shape, structure, conditioning. 3 things were the most important. Now it's like all those things come after.
Bhuwan, why is it changing? Is Steve just changing his mind? If we're focusing on Olympia,
I think it's because, as I said, like the Ryan Terry, the first Olympia that he won was because of conditioning. Alex, you're absolutely spot on. We were all there, we saw it. But then after that, it has kind of become like, okay, now we have to make the division like suit to him, like his I guess special point or his like what is his thing that stands out. And Ryan Terry's abs are the best abs. So now, what's the second best? Do that. Ali, Brandon, maybe good abs, Andre, but he doesn't peak anymore as well. So what is the other stuff like they really want with abs? And I think that's what like with Raymond, they started the back thing. I remember like before that, back was not, men's physique was not a back contest.
100%.
But then Raymond came in and we all know it became a back contest.
The level is just so
No, I
And
think
then with the back contest, again, we it shifted to Brandon, like a little bit more balance from the front dominant. And from the front dominant, it went on to like abs. And now the back isn't as important. It is very important, but the abs are the most important.
this
So
is the worst
it
time in
just
men's physique
changed.
for me. This is the worst time in men's physique for me, bro. The back doesn't mean as much. They want ripped, shredded, detailed abs. I'm like, motherfucker.
Same with me,
It's
Yeah, but if
like,
that's what they wanted, why was I third call out?
because you suck.
I think my abs
Yeah, I'm kidding.
are up there. I think my abs are better than some of the guys in the top 10. But if it's just about abs and the back doesn't matter as
it's
much, why am I
not
third
just
call out?
though, Drew. It's like it is the most important, but then it doesn't mean that they're ignoring your chest or they're ignoring
Yeah.
the front. I think it's still more front dominant, and then they still need the back.
I think
But
there's just not a
starts with the
standard.
abs, it starts
Well,
with the
true.
then
True.
comes the front pose,
True.
and then comes the lats.
I think
Drew,
it's who has the least weaknesses also right now. I think there's
Balance, yeah.
Yes.
But who compares? Like you look at Ryan Terry, right, and Ali, first and second. Ryan Terry is the most balanced of all of them because Ali
Yes.
does have a weaker back.
Yes.
But Banks still has better balance than Ali, top to bottom, if you look at everything.
that's
True.
But why does Ali place above Banks?
Because
And then you would go
Banks
through
doesn't
fourth,
have-
fourth
doesn't
place.
have
With
as
the Serratos.
detailed abs, and that's just genetics. That's
But
just
how do
literally
they
genetics.
distinguish the difference between all these guys, like comparing and contrasting, right?
That's what it depends on them. Like, what is the single most important thing they're looking at? Is it like
Exactly.
That's
the
what I'm
most
saying.
defined abs? Because to me, it feels like as of right now, in the last 2 years, the biggest thing that they have changed is the abs. Last year and this year.
okay.
I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen next year.
Look, Hart, let me ask you this. Aaron Banks, Ali Bilal, Ryan Terry, all at their all-time best from what they've already shown on stage, not what you think that they can do. Who wins? Drew,
Aaron,
Bhuwan, Chris, same thing.
Terry.
Aaron.
Me,
Terry in 23.
But it really depends on, okay, what kind of judging are we talking about? Are we just talking about the
Tyler,
judging
Steve from the Olympia. They're setting the standard.
from judging last year? So basically, whatever happened at the judging last year at the Olympia.
Yes, if they all came in at what they've shown on the stage already at their best. I think Aaron's 2022.
I think they will still choose Ryan as of if they all came in at their best.
Really?
And if you base it only on last year's Olympia judging, that's the look they're going to go for.
It depends on when you base, like what judging you base it on, because there's so many different eras, right? Like
That's
my
why I was,
preference,
like,
I
2 years
prefer
ago,
Aaron's physique
awesome.
from 22, but I don't think that would win against the
Yes.
23
See,
Ryan.
that's a different question. What would you prefer versus what would the judges from last
Exactly.
year?
Okay, then I got another question. If Ryan retires, he wins a title this year. All right. Same placing, Ollie's second, Aaron's third. Right. Now they have to make a decision on what's the new look. Like, what's the standard of men's physique? Right. When you think of it from that perspective, right? They all come to the stage again the following year. They're all, 100%. Who would you say, with Ryan Terry out of the race, all at 100%, setting the standard for men's physique at the Olympia? Who wins?
Who they would pick or who they should pick? Because who they would pick is Ali.
Well, dude, wait till they start picking the freaks, like the Corey Morrison structures or like the Alex Toplins, things like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think
True.
I don't think
Switch it up and throw you a
One
curveball.
day.
Who knows? But that could be the year where
That's it.
the
Yes.
turn.
Yeah.
Hey, and this is a point I want to get across too. Whenever I'm talking to my clients or to other people and they're asking me like, "Oh, what are the judges looking for? What do you want? Like, what should my physique look like?" I always tell people to build the best version of their own physique because you never are going to realize when your type of physique is the one that the judges are going to start looking towards. So Bhuwan may be placed in second callouts right now, but maybe he competes next year, the year after, and his physique is the one they're looking for, right? So yeah, we can build our physiques to a standard of what the judges are looking for right now. But I always tell people, hey, build your vision of what you want to look like and the best that you can get on stage at. And maybe one day that's going to be the person.
I back that statement with actual proofs. What Chris said. I've been competing for like the longest time, and I can tell you there's guys that used to be last callouts in the shows that were stacked with 50 competitors, Battle in the Desert, or like Mile High Pro the year that I did. Same guys that were in the last callout are today in the first callout in top 3, top 2. Same guys. Why?
Yeah.
That's what Chris just said. It's because the standard has changed with the look that they want, and they just kept going. And it can change again. And same guys that are today first call out, no, there is no guarantee they're going to be first call out in 3 years, 2 years from now.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But we just wrapped up Tampa Pro recap last week, right? And we talked about how there's a guy who goes pretty underrated, under the radar in terms of men's physique. He plays fourth back to back. But whenever we have these conversations, right? Hart even said it. I'm going to be covering Ali Bilal and Ryan Terry, right? But there's a lot of people who don't even remember the fact that there's an Emanuel Hunter out there with probably one of the best backs in the entire game, and somebody who showed improvements coming into the Tampa Pro with having a track record of also nailing it at the Olympia. He also went on a podcast recently and kind of spoke a little bit more. And this is something that I don't think he's very good at doing, only because, or not good at doing. He's phenomenal when he has the opportunity. I don't think I've ever seen him on platforms getting notoriety. And I think that's a part of the reason, but I wanted to play this for you guys.
Why is that?
We started.
My best will beat their best this year. Why is that? I just know the work that I put in. No, I'm not taking any work from them. I just know the work that I need to put in for me to hold that, be the last man standing on stage. My best will beat their best this year.
Hart.
That's a future Mr. Olympia talking right there.
Hey, someone else that has the same opinion as me.
It probably won't happen in the next year or two, but I'm telling you, Emmanuel's going to win the Mr. Olympia.
Go on.
Man, I love Emanuel. I know he doesn't talk a lot, and he like, as you said, like, he probably can get better at, like, saying things. But I do know that, his physique, I've seen it improve. I've known about him. I've seen him in second, third call-outs. Trust me, I've been at the shows where he was third call-out, and I've seen him. And he is a guy that, as Hart said, if he keeps improving the way that he has, yeah, because he is complete. He has front, back, he can just keep improving on that. The structure is there.
Do you think his time comes when the tide changes to something new?
Yes.
Yes.
Because right now, no. Because right now his physique doesn't align with the exact thing that they prioritize. But that will change. We all know that.
Is there a world?
I think he's allowed to have that opinion of himself too. We allow everyone else to talk their talk. And we've been, I feel like us, like people in media and everything, always get beat down for having their own opinion. And like I always say, everyone has opinion. Everyone's allowed to stick by that. And these guys are top 5 Olympians. They're all gunning for that same spot. They're all gunning for the one. They have every right to think they have the ability to do that.
No, I agree. I think if Drew doesn't put himself in that top conversation, I think that's a problem.
Yep.
Like when I mean top conversation, the one thing I love about that is like he's real. He's like, there's a world where I can see myself in the top 6.
Yes.
Like that's how I see myself.
I respect that. Yep.
He's not saying I'm going to win the Olympia right now, but he says, you know what I mean? I think that's why I love Andre's his whole sentiment, his whole soliloquy. He went, it's one of those who's like, holy shit. It's more like how he said it, not what he said, because everybody almost agrees of what he said, but how he said it, that's the entertainment side of things, right? Mm-hmm. That's what took it to a whole nother level. Mm-hmm. Bhuwan, your top 5. I think actually, did we talk about this last week, a couple weeks ago? Your top 5 at the Olympia right now, based off of everything that you've seen now that Emanuel's coming out, now that we see Ali showing a lot right now.
Ryan, Ali, Emanuel, Edwin, and I think either Vitor or Diogo, one of them.
Where'd you put Aaron?
Vitor or Diogo?
Where'd you put Aaron?
Oh, sorry, Aaron as well. So that's like my top 6.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is, but I don't know. And then we have Brandon too. So I think Vitor, Brandon, and I don't think Diogo's going to win that top 6. So I think between Brandon and Vitor, those are the top 6 for me.
That's crazy, bro.
But then they just talking about it is like blowing my mind. I'm like, holy, I'm sitting here. Guys. Where is the spots left?
I don't remember.
Jeremy. And then
Morris.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. Hart, what about you? Your top 5 for the Olympia, early predictions.
I knew you were gonna ask me, bro. Ali keeps reposting me in his story, so I'm not gonna say anything about number one. I need that growth right now, dog, and Ollie's popping, so I'm gonna chill on number one and two. But yeah, no particular order. Obviously, if I can remember these names, bro, it's been so long. Ali, no particular order. No particular order. Ali, Terry, Banks. Worried about Brandon, but he'll be in the top five. And
Yeah.
then, bro, I honestly don't even know. I need to do some research, bro.
Yeah, bro. Is it overwhelming getting back into it, creating content? I know your style's slightly a little different off the gate. Like, it has it been a little overwhelming trying to kind of start a channel, get your bearings?
Yeah, bro, but it's only overwhelming because I make it overwhelming at times, and I get in my head, and that's the only reason it's overwhelming.
What do you get in your head about right now the most? Because you are, bro, you're the one who started this shit. Like,
No,
Yeah.
let's take a second, right? Like, if you really think about it, who was covering the division before you, right?
Mike, what's his name? Mike Rattani, dog.
You
Back in the day.
Yeah, but I don't think he's ever did it, at least on a platform like this, right? And bringing in the new eyes. I think that's where your content really helps the men's physique division because it nurtures the new eyes, the people who are novices just getting into the sport. So they,
Mhm.
in a way that's a little bit more, I'm not just your personality is just more, it's just fun, right? Like, bro,
Yeah.
people probably don't remember this. Your old Instagram name was Heart is Weird, right? And you
Yeah,
really,
people don't remember
Still
that.
weird, dog. Still super. Probably weirder. Probably even weirder. I'm naked.
my God. But to simplify it, I think that's what needs to be done, man. Just bring back the version of you that is, I feel, hopefully not over speaking,
Mm-mm.
the one that people have always loved, but I think now you just have so much more wisdom and knowledge based off of things that you went through that now you can bestow on everybody else watching the channel. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I said it, man. Like we said in the last episode, Drew and Chris and I, we were like, we hope there's a day that you come back to men's physique because it's different. Like nobody can recreate Hart's personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Miss.
Love you, bro.
All right. I want to break down the Texas Pro. Bhuwan, you had an opportunity, obviously, to see all of the guys in the top five up close and personal. And I wanted to get a little bit more of your take on it. But just before we dive into the actual competitors, how was the actual show experience? And I believe it was a Freddie show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how was everything competing this weekend or last weekend?
No, the show was great. I think one of the best things that I liked about the show was how close it is to the airport, how many hotels are near the venue. And it does make a difference, when things are just easy to get around, get by. So that was definitely like I really liked how comfortable this was. Of all the three shows I did, like this was definitely the most kind of comfortable in terms of like getting around and just doing and just managing the whole thing.
Mhm.
And backstage, very nice. Like it was just a great show. Honestly, like it's a great show.
I couldn't agree more. Drew, do your thing.
I like seeing Austin Woody in this top six. It's about time he got rewarded for having his conditioning. I thought he looked absolutely incredible. I thought that just in these photos too, and the stage lighting was great to really demonstrate it.
Yeah.
His fullness, the improvement that he had all around. Back is still a little bit shallow, but it definitely improved, especially with the width because he is a taller guy. But his front with the serratus and the ab show, like Bhuwan was talking about, I think it's really starting to peek through on what they want and what they want from him specifically. Dimitro, super bubbly and freaky, not the standard, but more of like a caricature, like freak look.
It's crazy. He's
very complete, but the way that his shape sits, he's just bubbly and round and full. A little bit of a longer torso. He has legs. He has a very different look. It's unique. I don't know anybody else that looks like him, but
Hey, Drew,
I mean the judges rewarded it. It looks, I mean, for obvious reasons.
Drew, remember we were talking about last week of those guys that are backstage that you see and you're like, holy crap, like this guy may demolish me. I
Yeah.
feel like Dimitro has that type of physique that whenever we see him backstage, we're like, holy crap, how are we going to stack up against this?
Yeah,
but then you end up like, if you have more streamlined physique, you're going to end up beating him. I think that's what I'm seeing with this type of physique right here.
I think there's certain, like, he reminds me a lot of who's that one guy that's Hart used to cover him a lot.
Oh,
he had really bubbly arms and He was really good on
Fernando.
shoulders.
Fernando, what's his name? Felipe?
Guillermo or Guillerme?
No.
No, it was the other guy. It was the guy from France.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I know exactly what you're. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
it reminds me of him. Like but like it seems like I don't know. It doesn't flow like the other guys as much, but it's still freaky enough to be in the mix.
he does that pose where he does this thing. He like scoops
Yes.
the ground up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't think of it right now, but he
man.
reminds me a lot of him with the arms and the shoulders. He just looks like the showy muscles are dominant.
White dude, black dude?
Black dude.
Yeah.
Fernando or something like that. Fahala.
Dang it, dude.
I know there's people right now watching this like, oh, they're saying his fucking name.
No
right
comment below.
Yeah,
The fact that we all can't think of it is crazy.
Yeah, but bro, he disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what
like
happened though.
Fernando or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not Chala.
No.
It was the other guy. He's super aesthetic, but he had like a
Hart.
really small waist.
Hart, that's how I know you detached from men's physique for a while, because you used to talk about him all the time. That's how we all
Post him all the time.
That's how we,
What?
bro.
Yeah.
That's how we all learned about
I'm
him.
so curious, bro. Who is this man?
What's his
Oh
name?
my gosh, I'm searching right now. I'm trying.
I don't even know where to begin with my search.
Black.
But anyways, Dimitro gives me that effect. He's good enough to be in a first call out, but still proportionally, there's certain things that are missing.
Yeah.
Fourth place, another cuts guy. Super, super clean look. Has a bigger waist, but everything else is in sequence. Looks a lot more balanced if you could compare it to Dimitro or Austin. Full chest, shoulders, arms. Just with the waist being a little bit bigger, it still just looks pleasing when you look at it. I think he could improve a little bit more on the back. If you go back to the backside, yeah, I think he'd definitely improve a little bit more. It has a little bit of asymmetry in the upper trap. It looks like it was pinching a little bit more. The biggest difference from Josh Guidry to fourth place, and I guess the rest, is Josh has, a better back, honestly. His front has always flown a little bit better, but I do notice that his back is just tighter in the lower. And he's definitely improved a lot as far as peaking. I know last year he was sweating a lot on stage. Seems like his overall presentation was a lot smoother, a little bit more confidence. But he's always in that top three. It seems like any show that he does, and it seems like the polish and maybe structure is keeping him from the 1 and 2 spot. It just always comes down to that. No matter how good your conditioning or size or whatever it may be, it's always going to come down to that structure, which comes back to your designer.
It's the proportions thing, right? Like Joshua is one of the guys that I was like, the guys that were talking about earlier, that they used to be like third, fourth call outs, and like they've suddenly like started like jumping up the ranks. Josh is like a classic example of that. So it's only this year, actually, and over the last 3-4 years, he hasn't really been in first call out. So I think the biggest thing with him is like his just arm proportions are just so off. Like his arms are so overpowering, and I've seen it in person. So I'm telling you, everything is great, but then his arms are just gigantic.
Yeah.
And that, when you compare it with the guy that won, it's just so balanced look versus like where arms are just standing out. So I think with him, like, yeah, he's back dominant, he's great back, but then his arms from the front will always be putting him in behind a guy like, even Mehdi or even like the Brock. Like those guys are just so pretty to look at, balanced.
No, I couldn't agree more. And that's the thing. I do think this year his physique has changed, though. I used to look at it and only see his arms. I think his structure stands out to me a little bit more. I think with a year undercuts, hopefully doing something like he did with Edvon, that he's going to be able to recreate a new version of Josh. But I do think this was the best, most consistent version of Josh. I think this was the best conditioned version of Josh. And it sucks because you still see him in the same spots as he was even when he wasn't nailing it. But I do think he needs just another offseason of actually doing the opposite of most people do in an offseason, come down in order to come back up. And I think that's what's gonna spark his physique. I think 2026 for him can be a special year. Now, the top two, that was a fucking battle. And I do think this was the closest battle of the year. From my understanding, this was separated by 1 point. And I heard a lot of different people's perspectives saying it could have went another way versus the way it went. After seeing some of the video, I understand why it went the way it was, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. Bhuwan, with you being there in person, do you think that, one, the Barack should have won? And also, what do you think of their looks in general?
I think the thing that I would personally say that stands out between the two is what Tyler talked about earlier this year, which is the balance of legs to upper body. And I think that at one point is very easy to see where that one point is coming from. Because when you compare just two guys, especially when you're doing a call out of just two guys, it is so apparent because backstage, like pumping up or just like on the stage, it is very, very visible who has a balanced physique. And that's what they talked about, right? Like the whole year has been set on like they want balance. So with that, I think that's where like Brock just took that one spot. Because yeah, they have strengths and weaknesses conditioning wise. They were both Peel's shapes are a little bit different. Brock also has a little better shape, I would say. But Mehdi's back conditioning was just, I would say, was better. Like in person, better, drier, tighter than Brock, but shape and then legs.
Yeah,
Drew. I'm seeing one thing. I want to see if Drew agrees with me on this one. I think the difference of the two physiques is that I think Brock came with a little bit more of a full package. So if you're looking through the upper pecs, his whole pec, shoulder region, like everything is full and looks very, very proportional. But I also think that he fits the standard of what we just talked about of that Ollie, Bilal, and Ryan type of physique. That everything is so polished and almost just all around just looks pretty, balanced, right? And you look at Mehdi and you look, that is a crazy physique. Like I'm looking at crazy conditioning. Yes, he has the balance, but it's a little bit, I guess I would say less full or less of a pop than I'm seeing from Barack. And I'm thinking Barack is fitting that.
Chris, like I'm telling you, this was the fullest I've ever seen Mehdi. Like
really?
In person. Maybe these pictures don't do him justice. And honestly, they don't do justice to both of them. But this is the best, fullest Mehdi I have seen. And the balance in terms of his arms and shoulders too. So yeah, I think this was his fullest package.
I think it's his best package. I think this is Mehdi's best package.
What did you see, Drew?
Yeah.
I just see more completeness from Barack.
He
does have a freaky physique.
I've just competed with him at Olympia and I've competed with him at Toronto Pro and he won that year. I mean, there is such a huge difference between what I've seen him in the past right next to me and versus what I just saw like at this show. Yeah. In fullness and conditioning.
I agree. Hart, what do you think? If you had to pick a physique based off of what you see here, keep in mind just photos, aren't there in person, who do you lean more towards?
I lean towards a guy that looks more like a men's physique Mr. Olympia, which I think is really clear. Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has the look, the total look. Like I don't know who said it, but the polishedness. He looks like he could be a Mr. O one day. He has that look. Mehdi is, like you guys were saying,
you dropped that very casually, bro.
What?
Being a Mr. Olympia.
I'm gonna drop it all day. Bhuwan, I'm gonna call you Mr. O next video. But yeah, yeah, bro.
That'll be good for your page.
Hart was one of the first ones that's been saying that, and you know what? I love him for that reason. We go back.
We do, bro. 5-6 years now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you?
But I agree with Hart in the sense that even when you see them in person, it is that pretty look, as I said, like it's the aesthetic look. It just stands out. He looks freaky. Mehdi looks freaky.
Yeah.
But he just looks what men's physique was always supposed to be.
Hey, I said it was a wrap whenever I was streaming the live. I was like, yo, it's a wrap. Mehdi's winning. But then as the show went along and I started thinking about the criteria more, I'm like, Barack looks damn good.
I thought Mehdi had it too. I thought
Mehdi had it based off of what I saw on the stream. But again, stream is different. And somebody's told me the balance side of things. They were there in person. They said the balance was what to them swayed it. That's when I looked at it a little bit differently and saw the fact that this motherfucker has massive, calves versus Mehdi does not have good calves. Right. And
he's got good physique. Crazy physique.
And Drew, maybe you can see this. When I see Mehdi's knee going backwards, like concaving, it doesn't look comfortable. So why can't he
doesn't look overall balanced? I know that he's played with it before. I mean, it works for him being in the top two. He has his strengths just like everybody else has their strengths, but Brock just had less strengths. You know, it just, you look at the legs too. I think it's just the overall balance and completeness. There's certain body parts on Mehdi that beat Brock, right? And there's certain parts overall that Brock just beats Mehdi. It's the overall package. Now we could do the same thing with the top 5 of the Mr. Olympia. There's certain things some guys have. There's certain things that other guys have over others that don't beat the overall guy. It's the overall package head to toe. Brock has it here.
Yeah, I think one thing that is still may not be as important in men's physique, and this show kind of just proves that, is that structure will always win if it has conditioning and fullness. I think with Mehdi, he does the best he can with what he's given genetically, which is the shape. But with Brock, he doesn't have to try too hard. He just genetically, like, his shape is just the men's physique shape.
I think Mehdi's actually one of the most underrated athletes in men's physique also.
I agree.
For how he has improved and how far he has come. Again, one of the guys, Alex, he's one of the guys that has come from third call-outs to now being dominant. And I've seen that journey, and I know. And he's put in the work.
Yeah, I agree.
I would also say that Drew is in that statement of one of the most underrated as well.
Yeah.
I think
until they see it, you know.
I think Drew has one of the most underrated front shots. And I've gotten arguments about this. I think Drew has one of the most underrated front shots in men's physique.
I think with his size that he added this year, and this is what I wanted to say earlier whenever you were talking about your placing there, I just think that back whenever you weren't placing as well at Olympia, it was a size thing for you. I don't think you had that roundness and that pop that you do now. And I think, like I said at your Toronto show, whenever you stood next to those guys and you looked bigger than them, I was like, this is going to matter whenever you're on the Olympia stage where everyone else has size. So I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see you stand next to guys that look like this, these round guys that are here. It's going to be exciting, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, bro.
Let me ask you guys, if you had to sum up the year of men's physique so far, would you guys say this is an exciting year for men's physique, or would you say it's a slow year compared to previous years? There's storylines in every year, but truthfully, if you compare it, because I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to say this to somebody who covers the division, this has been the most boring year of men's physique that I've seen.
I disagree. I think there's so much drama going on that it makes it funny for bragging rights.
There's always
drama. Not like this year, bro. Not like this year. Like, this is like a new era. So, like Hart said, if I believe Hart said it, if Brian Terry wins his third one, what's the new standard? I think it sets it up for next year. So we're going to kind of see how things go. And there's a lot of people think that there's only the top 2. What if a guy from second call out sneaks into that top 3? You know what I'm saying? You never know. It always changes. It seems like it changes. It hasn't in a couple of years, but I feel like it can with how shows went this year. There's a lot of new guys, bro.
We have seen it time and time again. We've seen it with Charjo. We've seen it with people like Emanuel Hunter going from fucking 11th place to 4th place. We have seen guys who have consistently jumped and somehow got within that top 4. I don't know about top 3, top 2, but I'll say top 4 for sure. Out of that second call out, that group of second call outs, who is you think that guy is who could jump into, we'll say the top 5?
I would say Ben.
Yeah, I know.
But he's not second call up, but I think Ben is a guy that could be there. He's complete.
Is he
Andre said that too.
I think Ben too.
I got Ben just based on what I saw last year. I saw a level of conditioning I never seen on him in his back. I mean, he has a back that's just as good as some of the guys. If not, he has a better back than Ali.
Hart, do you think that Ben could make that jump? I know you probably haven't followed along a lot of the updates he's done and stuff, but based on what you've seen structurally, and then think of like, okay, if he packs on the muscle to be competitive, do you see him in a world of he could be a champion, like you say, how other people can be?
That's a tough one, bro. That's a really tough one. Ben Quill's a special case. I feel like the reason I feel like Ben Quill, like I would never want to count Ben Quill out of like being consistently in the top 3 one day. I don't know about winning the O, is because, at least from my perspective, is that dude wants it. It's like the opposite of Dre. He wants that O more than anything. And I feel it. I can feel it from here. I can feel it right now, So I don't know about the O, man. I don't know why, but ever since I watched something on George Brown years ago, I'll never get over the chest thing. And I know that's such a shallow thing to talk about because it's just kind of genetic, but it's weird how that stuff sticks with you. And I wonder if that sticks with the judges as well.
I think there's a certain amount of muscle that he could put on to kind of mask it a little bit, right? Like, it looks more exaggerated because it was smaller. It was like his smaller muscle group. But I think as from what we're seeing from updates, again, it's different when you're on stage. But from what I can see, he's definitely added the tissue.
Hey,
What?
does it hurt Jeremy Potvin?
What with what?
The
Because
shape.
He's
It
got
does.
almost the same type of chest structure, but he
It,
placed
it
what, top 3, right?
yeah,
Mm,
but
I'm
see,
just saying.
that's a difference. I
different
mean,
era, but today,
way different.
today it will hurt him.
Okay.
I mean, way different era, bro. Like, and that's the era.
I'm just shooting stuff from the hip right now, buddy.
It makes sense, but that's
No,
another
but
prime example.
Chris made a
His
great
chest was
point.
so
Chris
big.
made a great comparison. That's
That's another. That's another like that. His chest is so big that it's almost like you only see how big his chest is, not necessarily the deformity of the chest.
Yes. But see, that's the difference. The size difference is there.
Yes, that's the size exactly. If Ben puts on mass, where I'm not gonna say like Jeremy, but if he puts on more mass than what he already has, it's gonna hide some of the weaknesses that's already within that muscle. 100%. I do think Ben can be in that top 8. I definitely think he's gonna be top 8.
Oh, 100%.
I think he could be. He's the guy who could jump from second call out to break into the top 5.
But I think you were
He's-
asking about him being Mr. Olympia, right, Alex? I think top 8 is not like I don't think that can be a question if he puts on.
That's a guarantee. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But there's a lot of people who didn't show up at the Olympia last year. A lot. So we can't act like that's not the truth. Right? There were a lot of guys who didn't show up. We see Chiron looking amazing. He's prepping right now, right? Corey Morris, he's still in the conversation, but then you got Diogo who didn't show up there last year. Right? There's guys who have been consistently in that conversation that could also move some of these guys.
It'll be very interesting to see where they place Diogo, honestly, because he doesn't fit the criteria of this year's judging that they have done.
That's so true. His midsection.
Yes, I really am excited to actually see that.
I agree.
That's what I'm excited for, because that would make things a lot more clearer.
I agree. I think because he has everything, structure, back.
He has everything that they wanted in men's physique, except that one thing.
Hart, I wanted to ask you this, because now that you're back creating content you've made a lot of great relationships in men's physique. You know, let's just say guys watch what you do. We're active. We see what you post. You built a lot of good relationships with that, but you also, created some distance from some certain people. Now that you're getting back into the space, is there a different approach you're taking in order to not rub people the wrong way? Or are you just saying, fuck this, I'm pulling the Andre Ferguson, I'm just reporting?
I'm gonna just report it how I feel in the moment. Like I literally just have a picture or video up and I just talk. And I'm gonna say it. I want to attack this channel this time with more conviction, with speaking more from the heart, not holding back any of my thoughts or feelings. And if guys take it the wrong way, they take it the wrong way. But like I know if I saw them in person, like I would literally want to give them a hug and have a good time. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So some of the relationships, like from some of the other guys you talked about in the past, right?
Yeah.
Do you still
There's a
plan
few.
to-
There's I mean, I can't think of it, but I'm sure there's at least half a dozen guys that will not talk to me who've told me they almost hate me, for critiquing their physiques or saying something bad about their physiques. What was your question right there?
I was going to ask you now on that. How do you handle that? Like, as somebody who you want these guys to like you, you're covering them, you're talking about them, right? Like, how do you manage those emotions going into now creating a video about somebody who doesn't like you?
I'm
gonna put
Let's take Jeremy. Let's take Jeremy for example.
Put on the
that
Hart McGrath
helps.
wig for you, bro.
I love it, bro.
Go ahead, answer.
I don't know, I don't think Jeremy is that fond of me for things I've said in the past. As many good things I've said about Jeremy, I say a few bad things and it just all goes to shit. And for me, I think I can see things from a higher perspective, and I'm gonna let him feel how he wants to feel. Like I know truly down deep that I am not trying to put these guys down. I am not. So I'm just gonna let it flow. I'm gonna talk about everyone who doesn't like me, everyone who loves me. I'm gonna talk about everyone and just leave it there. It's not that deep. It really isn't.
Yeah.
And something I've realized a lot is that It's usually the people with the biggest egos are the ones that get most mad about what is said online about them. And you're in a sport where we're critiquing your physique, the judges are critiquing your physique. Every fan has a different vision of how you look on that stage. Some people absolutely hate Alex Toplin's look, and some people are going to say he's Mr. O. And if you start taking things personal that people say online about you, and we're just critiquing or picking apart things, or we just have an opinion on you, it doesn't mean that you need to hate that individual for that. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of happened to me yesterday, Alex, whenever I was on that one post about the 8 IFBB Pro wins. And I said the thing about the Masters, like, why are we looping the Masters in with open wins? Like, it was kind of ridiculous to me. So I stated my opinion, and all of a sudden I started getting backlash online about it. And I'm like, okay, that's my opinion. Like, if I don't think that's the same as 8 IFBB Open Pro wins versus Masters, like, that's my thing, you know? So it just sucks that people take comments to heart whenever at the end of the day, are these people, are they going to be by your bedside, like on the hospital whenever you're dying?
Yeah.
No, you're not going to be there. So what's the matter?
I remember Hart gave me some advice about this back in the day when I was more transitioning into this, because I felt like there was a point, no matter what I said, even if my intentions were good, no matter what, if I said for 59 seconds raving about someone's physique and 1 second I said something that was, not in their favor, it would be twisted, right? And I found myself in a position where I'm competing, with these guys, and there was, I'm covering some of my friends, and I'm trying to be unbiased while also trying to be, fully transparent. And you guys have seen it. Let's be real. On this podcast, we have gotten shit for being, on not being, being biased. That's the reality of that. And now we have an opportunity, as much as we love them, we have an opportunity to just sit here and just speak our fucking truths. And I realized that, right? We get the feedback from people. I'm not going to sit here and shove it aside. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to say, you know what? That's not what I want to be known for when I'm covering things, right? I think that can hurt your reputation. So I think this time around, we have an opportunity to truly just speak our minds and just be fully transparent with, our current thoughts. And I think covering the men's physique division and realizing that you're not going to make everybody happy gave me that opportunity to realize, you know what, fuck everybody else. Like, I got my circle, I got people, I know my intentions. And that's why when I turn on the camera and I press record, it's a lot different. I'm not caring about emotions. I'm not caring about these fucking feelings anymore, because I know what I'm trying to do is a net positive for the division, where other people can see it as they said I don't have good legs or whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And another thing, Alex, is how many times have we said something on here or said something in a post or whatever, and then 3 months later we change our opinion, and now we agree with the people that we are arguing against. Sometimes people are able to change our opinions, and our opinions aren't necessarily right as well. So I love whenever people come back and challenge me, because Mike was in my DMs and he challenged what I said. And you know what? I turned around and I was like, know what, Mike? I was like, you are right. I was like, I shouldn't have said that, because these Masters guys do put in the work, and that is the accomplishment. And my comment seemed like it was bringing you down. I was like, know what? You're right. I was like, I was in the wrong there. So sometimes it's good,
That's maturity, though. Like,
I think, as you said earlier, it is the guys that have the biggest egos that get the hurt the most. But the key is to kind of, as an athlete, I'm saying, like, and when you're being covered by different, I guess, people, to kind of separate the individual from the business, because it is at the end of the day a business. And when you look at it that way, it's like, hey, like, think about, as an athlete, what you're trying to sell or what you're trying to like accomplish on social media is very different than who you are to your friends and family. So what if you start treating others the same way too? Like, who they really are is a lot different than what they're actually doing or saying about you on the camera. And once you do that, you realize at the end of the day, everybody is trying to have, earn bread and put that bread on the table. And what they're doing is just a business thing. It's like, it has nothing personal against it. There's no vendetta. If it's vendetta, I totally support, like, just going and like defending yourself and like actually like taking your stance. But to me, what I've really seen for the most part, like, people don't, like, the people I'm talking about, the big YouTubers, Hot, there's some other big channels, like even Nick's Strength and Power, they don't really have vendetta against you. And when they don't, just separate the two, like, treat the person. If he is your friend, great. If he's not your friend, then also it's like, oh, it's just a person who is trying to build a business. But that's what I think the key is. Like once you accept that, then you don't really care what they have to say because you know what you want to do.
Yeah. We talk about it often, but like I said, it's hard because we're in a sport where we are consistently getting judged based off of how we look. And that is a representation of the effort, typically, is a representation of the effort that we put in consistently in order to get to the stage and present something that we are proud of. But then you have somebody who presses record on the flip side, right, from looking at it from a different perspective, where it's very easy for them to say they didn't look good. And I know that, bro, we talked about this. I got it when I stepped off stage at Optimum, right? Like I won a show and all I heard was he didn't look good. And you don't think I have eyes, you don't think I see that, but at the same time, you can't get mad at Hart McGrath, like who's covering it, because again, if it wasn't about you, you would see it as a net positive, right? But
hey,
then,
bro, you looked good enough to win the show. That's all I can say.
Yeah, but
that's all that matters.
That's what I was really curious about that, man, because as somebody who has felt some of that, backlash from, videos, I was curious on how Howard was going to come back and just speak his mind, whether it's, holding back a little bit or just saying, fuck this, I'm pulling the Andre Ferguson, But I did want to cover, before we get out of here, I want to break down the show we have coming up this weekend. I don't know if you guys get a chance to look at this. I know, Hart, this is an opportunity for you to start learning the names, seeing the faces.
Yeah, teach me men's physique, bro.
We got you, bro. But I wanted to quickly run down this list and see if you guys had any specific names. All right, we have Anthony. It's just going to be bad. Ashok, I've never heard of him. Sid Balak, Mike Bevins, Daryl Bryant, Sage.
Mike Bevins. Is that the Mike Bevins from the 1819?
1819.
Yeah, like a guy, he had like a tall, like he was a tall guy, big frame, big chest in the US Army. And yeah, I'm like, I'm surprised to see that name actually.
Yep, men's physique Olympian. Yep.
Right here.
That's him.
This is him right here?
No.
No, Mike Bevins you were talking about, right?
Mike Bevins.
Did you look him up?
Yeah,
what's his Instagram?
Yeah, he's an old-time Olympian. He has that exact look that whenever George Brown was doing very, very well, he kind of has that same structure.
Yeah.
Mike Bevins.
Mike. Okay. I saw.
Yeah, I know it. I know. I mean, I've been on stage
right here. This guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I'm seeing his name after so long.
Is this it right here?
Do you remember him?
It's IFBB Pro Mike Bevins. IFBB Pro.
No, it's not this guy. Yeah. Chris got it.
That's how I'm going to look.
I got to see him.
I want to see because he looked like he had a crazy structure.
He does, but he's older now. He's an older gentleman. I mean, he's an Army veteran. He's up there in age.
Is this him?
Yeah. It's been so long, man. He was like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You remember now?
Yeah.
He won Chicago Pro.
I was waiting for him to recognize. Yep. Crazy. It's been that long.
He looks like a taller JS Aesthetics on Instagram.
Yeah.
Totally. 2017, 2018 time.
So wait. So he was an Olympian. So he was one of those guys who was a top in men's physique back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh. I think this was like before I started watching men's physique. Like I got into men's physique literally in like 2019.
Yeah, so this is before. 2018, I think I did a show with him, and maybe 2019, but 2018 I remember him.
He's a good look. He's a small waist.
Yeah.
I wonder how old he is now.
Gotta be mid-40s, right?
Like if you see that video, he'll show you his conditioning. I think those pictures were not of good quality, but he was a good physique. Like that video, if you see, there. You see, like he has the look.
Yeah.
And this is back, 27? This is really old, though. This is not 2022 he posted. This is like from back in the day.
Bro, this is a good look.
Yeah, it is.
So it's a comeback show for me. Damn, imagine, bro, hasn't competed for that long. That's crazy.
I'm excited to see him. That's gonna be very.
I just feel like I've learned something new, bro. Like I forget that there was like a life like before like 2019.
Yeah.
Oh,
It makes me feel old, and I'm like, I actually am not old. I'm not gonna get that into my head, but I'm like, holy, this is really back in the day.
Hey,
yeah.
Drew, is there any
When you say
standouts in
that
this
you don't
list for
remember
you?
these names, I'm like, Alex, I'm not that old than you. I'm like pretty similar age.
Yeah.
I have one, but I mean, other than that,
I see. Let's see.
Oh, there's Scott Dennis too.
yeah, I was
I
going to
mean,
tell you. I was
I'd
gonna say
like
something
to
about
see.
Scott.
I want to see Scott Dennis. I'd like to see Mario
What is
Stewart. He
going
keeps
on
getting
with
better.
these comebacks
That's
of
who
the
I have,
guys from
Drew.
that retired?
Mario
Like,
Stewart could really, with his shape and everything, with how long he's been prepping, he might get it all together for the show, man.
And his posing flow. He has got that freaking aura.
He's
man, when it
aesthetic,
comes
bro.
on
He
stage.
has everything. You know, he just
It's
fills
funny
out.
because back then it was just not the time for a look like that. But I think in today's men's physique, that is
Scott Dennis went to Classic, and now
He
he's
did.
back down. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like he's back to men's physique.
So was he
Used to
like
be
a
here in Tampa?
was he a guy back in the day? Also,
No, he is from back in the day. He just couldn't do
Yeah.
well in men's physique, so he
Yeah.
went to the classic because that look was not men's physique look.
Yes.
But I think now, yeah,
all right.
Yeah, his upper body was massive.
yeah, it was very shredded and thick from the
Yeah.
front.
All right.
Yeah. He still looks good.
We got Medi. It's gonna be a show. We got Dimitro.
Matthew Hackett
Lopez
again.
Lewis. He could do it. You see Mario Stewart. Damn. Vaughn Walker. Damn. We got a good show here. I think the top 5 is gonna be a pretty solid battle.
There's some comebacks and there's some good hitters. That's going to be a good show.
Hey, Alex, I don't know if you have any insight on this, but do you know how close Vaughn Walker is to his weight cap? Because I'm surprised he didn't hang it up after that last show because he needs more size.
I don't
know if he's pushing the weight cap or not.
I don't know what his weight cap is, but I thought he was like he looked like a bigger dude.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just seeing it differently.
In his off season, but it seems like he really, yeah.
I think
wow, that's a good look.
He looks.
It's a good look. I think he needs a little bit more shoulders to round out that upper shelf. But I mean, he is very, very aesthetic. He has a great physique. Like you see him in person, it's impressive. He's round. He's got
He
good
definitely
legs.
is small, but has a very thin skin, so that brings out his like details. But he definitely can take more sides. Yeah,
It definitely makes him stand out some more. I think the only thing I'm hesitant about, and again, you never know, but I think he placed 7th at the Chicago Pro, and that wasn't the strongest lineup of the year this year. So I don't know.
He got 7th there?
Yeah, I think I got 7th. That's not bad.
Oh, okay.
It's just
That's not bad, no.
For a pro debut at all, but
yeah.
I don't know if I can have him in like that top 5, at least not yet. But all right, if you had to give your top 4 predictions, Hart, you don't have to this time.
I'm out.
All right. It's Drew, who you got?
So I got Medi 1, Dimitro 2, Mario Stewart 3.
That's hard.
I'll do Scott Dennis 4.
Okay.
I think with his density and his conditioning, because he's always had the density and conditioning, I'm going to have him 4. And then 5, I'll have Matthew Hackett in there. He has a dope look. I just feel like his conditioning is what's going to hold him back in this lineup, because with Medi being in that first position, I think he's going to set the standard. It's going to be a conditioning show.
Hey, Bhuwan, do you know who Matthew Hackett is? Did you see him backstage?
No.
Bro.
Prettiest physique, I think,
this kid
on
has
that stage.
Crazy potential.
Once he puts it together, man, it's going to be very scary for some people. And he's natural, correct?
I actually think he's just.
Wow.
I think he pulled.
I heard he was.
I think he pulled the trigger.
Okay.
This year, but at least from my understanding. But I will say this dude is. When I saw him win the overall, to me, I was like, "Yo,
it's all there."
This dude can go in a pro show right now and be competitive."
Ooh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's young.
Very complete.
So, yep, his body's rich. He's new.
Drew, the only difference I had in my placings, I think it's going to be a toss-up between Matthew at that end spot or Robbie. I think Robbie, if he comes in a little bit more tighter, a little bit more streamlined, I think he had a really good physique. He actually impressed me at the Texas show. But that's those are the only 2 other guys I could see fitting in those spots.
All right. I'm gonna go.
This is a hard one. It's wide open. I mean,
It
that
is.
top five, I feel like some guys could work their way in and then be in the conversation.
I have Medi for the win. I have Jacquez Lewis second.
Oh,
I have Dimitro. I have Mario Stewart third.
I forgot about Mr. Reps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reps. He's dangerous, bro. He's fucking
I forget his
dangerous.
real name because his Instagram name.
Yeah.
Same.
That happened.
Yeah,
That's
he's
happened.
top three.
I'll
He's
have
top
him.
three.
I'll have him. Yeah, replace Mario Stewart.
Yeah.
Hard, just so you know, it's this big motherfucker right here.
He's built. That's a big dude.
Bro,
You
he,
need to see him in person.
Is he
Bro,
Masters?
Oh
he
my
might
gosh.
be age-wise,
Is
but
he a Masters guy?
he does. I don't think he competes Masters.
Bro, if he does, it's a wrap.
If he does, I think he could have. Him and Andre Ferguson would have been the top two this year for the
Easy.
Masters Olympia. I wish this dude posted more, but like, yeah, he's a big ass dude. A lot of, bro. He's like 6'2".
Damn.
6'2"?
Yeah, bro. He's huge. He's tall. He's like my height.
Bro, he takes up a lot
He
of
doesn't
stage
look
space.
like that. Wow, if he's actually that tall, he's gonna make everybody else look like.
Is he like a Shareed Reef or whatever?
Yes, that's a good
yeah.
way to put it. I think he's a more complete version of Shareed Reef. That's a really good way to put it. Really good way. The thing is, this is
He's a
going to
big dude.
Just a little shallow. Yep.
It's just shallow. It's there. It's just shallow. That's the only thing. But I think
dominant.
his structure, his dominance on stage will put him in that second place spot. Again, I got Medi for the win. Jacquez coming in second. I got Dimitro fourth because I got Mario Stewart third.
I like that.
I hope Mario Stewart can, bro. He's one of those guys where I want to see him pull it off.
Yep.
You know, he's just one of those guys.
Such a good guy.
All right, Bhuwan, lose some followers.
I think for me, Medi first. A lot of the guys I actually don't know, but I think Dimitro, Dennis in that top five. I also feel the guy you just showed might actually be in there too, but his back seems a little bit weaker. And maybe, I think those are my four. I don't know. With the fifth one, it could be anybody.
The one I would say underrated physique.
I'm counting on like the guys that are making their comebacks, Scott Dennis and Mike Bevins. It'll be great to see them back in the mix. For the top five,
I want to see them succeed, bro. I love
Sage is a sleeper. He's an eventual sleeper, man. Sage has a very big structure. He's a big dude.
Yep. I agree. I did a lot of research on some of these guys. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We have Joe doing this show?
Wait.
Joe?
This throws a wrench in everything.
From Japan?
Is that Japan?
Japan. Yeah. Oh, Zoot.
He's not the guy
wasn't
who
he
just
top?
won.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's top 10, or no, he's top 15, right?
Yeah.
He was. He was in like 12 or something. Or 13. Yeah, you're right.
I think, yeah. He just came up.
I was just looking at the Olympia places.
He's right there, Alex. Stop typing.
Didn't he just do the Tokyo Pro?
Right there.
No, I don't think did he?
Yeah, that's your winner, bro.
Fun look. What a fun look.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's your winner.
Yeah,
the only way he's not winning is if his flight don't make it.
No, Nah, I think we're all wrong in that. Yeah, he's gonna take it.
Shout out to Japan. Don't get a tsunami because he needs to get it.
You would have missed the whole Japan. They would have just come after.
Wow.
I need to see his back though.
This is crazy. This is okay. So he's doing.
I remember seeing this guy. He followed me one day after Olympia, and I remember him because I was on stage and I was waiting, thinking I'd be in second call out. He was in second call out. I think he was like splitting center with Ben, or so. It was to be in the top 10. So they were moving him around. But I remember seeing this guy. I'm like, holy shit.
Bro.
I know his posing wasn't as good at the Olympia because I was going through everything. And then I realized, like, okay, this guy's fucking crazy. He's full. He doesn't really lack anything. And you look at the completeness, it's just maybe small detail compared to these other guys. But the biggest thing that I noticed in his physique was his posing. Thought his posing was
my God,
really rushed. Yeah.
So he doesn't have the best waistline, but he has everything else.
He can manipulate it though. He's just straight on. He's not even angling his hips.
His back.
You know, Hart, that's the one thing I've always loved about your channel. Like you come some of the international guys, and that's educated me on a lot of the international guys. Like,
yeah,
I got Medi winning. You heard it here first.
You got Medi over him?
Yep.
I could see it only because of structure, though. But
But again, he doesn't look what he looks in this video with 2 weeks ago video. I think he's fuller.
Yeah, I think he's
Bigger.
100%. He's definitely bigger. I don't think he needs to get any bigger, but I think this guy's
That looks, if he brings that look that was that 2 weeks ago look,
yeah, it's over.
that is crazy.
Is he the highest ranked men's physique pro out of Japan?
Ooh,
Yes.
Or the guy
Yep.
that won last week.
I think
Yes.
he is.
Yes.
I think he is.
Yeah.
He's
I think he is
the highest
12.
ranked in this lineup.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bro, he looks.
Yeah, he's nuts.
What a cool name. Uizato.
No, I think he's going to be a problem. Yeah, I think I got to move him in that top conversation.
Yeah.
I have to do it. All right, boys. Did we cover everything in men's physique this week? I feel like
Think we did.
so many moving parts going on. I
There's
know.
only one show this weekend.
Actually, we have the Mexico Grand Prix, but I'm full transparency.
Okay.
I don't know anybody. Kaiki Santos is doing it. So
All right, we're picking him.
yeah. Oh, Andreas Ramos is coming back after some time. Yeah. Oh, Juan Gomez. So I think it's going to be between Kaiki and
AK wins that one.
yeah. But all right, boys. I know before we get out of here, I want to show love to the Masters guys because again, I know Chris's favorite.
3 days ago on Part Masters, baby. It was my birthday. We're in this bitch now.
Oh yeah. What'd you do?
Let's go.
Masters.
What'd you do for your birthday?
I had Alex Toplin bail on my birthday dinner.
Bro, I can't.
He's in prep, bro.
Ben popped his tire on the way to my birthday dinner, so we replaced his tire in the parking lot. And yeah, that was basically it.
Fun. Well, hope you had a good dinner.
That was good, man. That was good.
Yeah, just a quick summary, guys. Would you guys see the Masters Olympia? One thing I'll say before anything else, I don't love this backdrop. I think it was way too busy.
Yeah, too busy.
I thought it didn't. I don't think any of these guys look like in great shape just because of that. You know, I think that's the only thing. But was anything that you guys?
And then they all wore. I can see 4 of them wearing the
Red.
and the
I
green.
know.
That matches the backdrop.
Just the worst picking shots with the background.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to AJ's midsection here. I don't know if this is probably why they didn't have
Just a bad photo.
Yeah,
Could be,
dude. Bringing that up, I was so mad at the Vancouver Pro shots that came out. I don't know who the photographer was. God damn it! It's like every picture I've never got that much hate in my life with the way I got, because the 3 pics they took, it's not like they weren't pictures, they were at the back after my back shot. And holy, the whole India came after me that I don't have abs. I'm like, God damn, those 1 microsecond photos, that's what happened to him. And I'm like, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, no. Bro, some of these people got to be careful about some of the photos that they choose to pick.
Dude, like, they just choose. It's like there is pictures where my abs are there, but they will go after those ones that doesn't show anything.
Yeah, no.
I doubt AJ is one of those guys that doesn't have any picture that shows his abs. He's one of the hardest abs.
Yeah,
but no, they put the picture where he has no abs.
That's true. Because I think
that's
he was the most conditioned guy on this stage. I think he was the fullest guy on this stage. I just think Andre, the midsection, it was hard to say no to this.
There's actually 2 guys here that doesn't have, they're not flexing their abs. Even the guy in the 4th, same thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought first, I'll say this.
I want to sign a petition to for them to stop doing this stuff. The photographer itself. What the hell, man? People don't know this. People will go by what they see.
No, I will say this though. The guys looked amazing, and seeing the Masters guys this year do what they're doing, it kind of, it defies the laws of aging, seeing what these guys are able to do. It's impressive. Andre Musi, he's been in it forever. Still
he's peeled.
Yeah, he's peeled. That was awesome. But he's been at it forever, man. I competed with Miami with him back in 2022. I remember seeing these specific guys. So I think
2019, 2020, I think I've seen him.
Yeah. It's been a while. But before we get out of here, man, I did want to ask you, you ran the gauntlet a little bit this year, Bhuwan. Your final show of the year, were you proud of the package that you brought? Was it everything that you had hoped for? And what was your feedback following that show?
I think that was the bare minimum package that I was hoping for to bring into my first show. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with it to be at my best, but I would say that that was the bare minimum that I had expectation of to bring into my first and then keep getting better from there on. So it was kind of like a bittersweet feeling that it was at the last show, and I wasn't even 100% sure if I wanted to do this show. But the only reason I did it is because it's just something. It was like a thing in my head. I'm like, I just want to peak. So what I told Adriel was like, I don't really care about anything. The only thing I want to do is like just see myself and show everybody else size that I've put on, and at least have a package that I can be like proud of, that I've made the improvements that they asked for. That's it. So I think this was like, I would say like an 85% to like where it was. I know my chest could have been fuller. I was a little flatter, but I was definitely tighter than the other two shows. And that just sucks that I had to go through the first two to kind of like get here. My feedback, as far as I know from Bill, it was just more density. The only thing I got a feedback of is just more density. And when they say more density, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if that is what it is, then I just have to put on a little bit more. Because what I look at it myself, I think the thing is I have to be bigger than a lot of the other guys to have the same look, like that dense look at the
You're
same
tall.
weight, or like, like just the same weight like they have. So I can push for that conditioning without in my mind like thinking, okay, I'm going to lose that fullness, because I think my chest is the last to fill out. I know my chest was much fuller than what I brought on stage. And that happened 2 hours after the stage. I have pictures that I sent to Ariel 2 hours after having a clean meal. And I'm like, holy shit. So I just needed one more meal.
Do you think it's something, and I want to phrase this question correctly because I don't want it to come off wrong. Do you think it's something that was in your control, or do you think that it was something that you and your coach needed more time in order to learn your body?
I think the original plan that we had, which is to get me ready 2 to 3 weeks before my first show of the season and then to walk peak clothes, was the right plan. And somehow kind of got a little, they kind of got lost or sidetracked. And I feel I do know my body is very sensitive to peaking. Otherwise, I would have like showed up at 100% at all the Olympias I've done. And that's just something that I know about me. So knowing that, it would have just made a lot more sense to kind of like do that. So I think that's where the thing was. But now, having done and trying different approaches, I think kind of knows what not to do, what to do. And even for myself, I think the biggest thing was having taken this much time off.
Yeah.
It really it was very different for me too, like just getting back on and just seeing my body, because at one point when I thought that I'm very conditioned, I think I kind of like, because it's been so long since I saw myself, I can, because conditioning is just something that was never an issue for me. So to me, I think I forgot what I look and feel like when I am the most peeled. And I think between Vancouver and this one, I definitely was. But then the peaking also is a thing. When you put on new size, new muscle, I think it takes different approaches, different manipulations of water, because there's new tissue.
I agree.
And I know my chest, like I know that there's just so much more fibers. Like I've never seen striations in my chest ever. I can hit a side chest. That's why I was hitting so many side chest poses. I used to practice that poses, because to understand what different levels of chest is. But then not be able to show that was like a thing that really hurt me. And at Vancouver, that was my feedback too. Like you could be tighter, but I've also seen you fuller, because Steve was judging it. And he's seen me fuller in my chest. So it just sucks that, I couldn't really hit my 100%, because I would have just loved, I don't care about the placing as much as I care about just 100% full blown, perfect.
That's all you can control, man. That's all you can control.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Listen, we've had you on the podcast. You're our most consistent returning guest. You are the most real. You're have perspectives that some people don't have. I think you view things differently. You've been in the sport long enough. Now that the motions of this prep is out of the way, do you think that putting a lot of emphasis on the scale at all slowed down the progression throughout the process? because I don't care how long you've been in this game. Like that scale is always going to weigh in your head, especially now that men's physique has a weight cap. I know that doesn't necessarily affect you, but is that something that you felt held you back from even bringing closer to a better version of yourself, at least for the first show?
I think there's two ways to look at it. I know like aerial things that was like a thing that was really like holding me like the scale, like just put on the size. But I don't think there is any other way to kind of really assess because for me, it's always been the same feedback. Like it's been 5 years. 5 years, same feedback. So it starts really like as you grow, but the division gets bigger. So I grew this same package in 2023, that last Olympia I did, would have placed me higher at the Olympia, let alone at any of the pro shows. This same package at any pro show in 2022, 2023 would have just got me wins easily. But I grew, but the division has grown even more. So to me, in my higher head, it's always like, okay, yeah, the scale matters to me for my height, because a lot of the guys that I'm competing with, I mean, Drew is one example here. You and me are like, we are trying to not only hit our weight cap, we are trying to like go above and beyond it, because a lot of these guys are actually way higher.
Yeah.
So how do you compete with them? Like Aaron is our height. What do you think? What's his weight? You and I both know he's like either on the weight cap or more than the weight cap. So in my mind, I'm trying to compete with Aaron, right? Because that's the height, kind of like similar height. So my goal is,
wait, yes. How tall are you? How tall are you?
I'm 6 feet, like a little over 6.
Oh shit. Okay. That makes sense.
So
damn, you have a lot of room then.
Yeah, so to me, it's just such a thing, because I got clocked at 6 feet exact the last 3 times, but I know that I can, if I get 1/4, 1/3, 1/6 inch more, I go up to a 200 and I think what 225 weight cap.
224. That's crazy.
So you can imagine, like for me, I have just so much areas to fill in, and that's why the obsession with the scale is. And I think, like, to me, it does matter, because it gives you a little rough idea in your head, how much more do you need to grow?
Yeah, that makes sense. I get it.
But I think once the muscle matures and just is dense, then I think you're right. Like, you don't have to worry about the scale, because the muscle is hardened up and it's going to stay.
Do you know something that this is very unsolicited advice? Just like Ali Bilal told Ryan Terry that he should retire, it's unsolicited. So take it if you will. I am doing something different this year. I think the downfall of not gonna say downfall, but like when I stopped, I'm not gonna say loving, but when it became more of a job, is when I became extremely knowledgeable, just like you are, of how it is to prep somebody. So you became more knowledgeable about the X's and O's, not just the athlete side.
Yeah.
I am trying everything in my power when I'm hiring this coach to literally give the reins and say, I need to trust the fact that you're going to keep me healthy while also bringing me at my best. That's my ask. Healthy and at my best. I will follow you blindly from there on out. And I think that there's a lot of people in our positions who have done it, who have been into the Olympia, where we hire somebody, but then it's almost like we try to self-coach through them. And I'm telling you now, and I'm not saying it's you. I'm going to be very clear. I don't know the ins and outs of your guys'
No. I think I agree with you completely, and I think I'm myself against that, because to me, it's like when I was trying to get aerial, I've coached myself through the off season, so I would have just coached myself through the prep too. But that was the reason. I don't want to hold the rein. Yeah. I don't want to use my brain. But I think a lot of it just comes down to just, I guess, maybe like giving the feedback versus like actually doing things that you want to do. I think with me, it's more so like, if you give the feedback and if somebody's asking, you're more explanatory. Like even the talks that you and I have had, right. Like I like to like really explain and then let the person make the decisions and then like whatever, right? So I think that's where like that's my kind of like style. Like when I'm like getting coached by someone, it's not that I always follow what they tell me, because otherwise I'll coach myself, which I did. But I think the more important thing is giving as much feedback for them to have like as much information, because I know for me that is very important. Like if I'm coaching someone, because otherwise I wouldn't really know.
That makes sense.
And that is where I stand. But I think with this prep, I definitely feel like the whole thing was just like in my whole focus was to retain the muscle.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I know that even like, Quinton that has been competing, it's just that when you have put in 2 years of work, Morgan, like I know a lot of the bodybuilders here that have been competing now after 2 years hiatus. It's just the thing, man. It's just like you want to, but then you also want to go on the conditioning aspect.
Yeah.
So I think the mix, you need that mix. And I think now that I know that I've put on the size, I'm not taking an 18-month. I don't need a 24-month. I just have to take less time, but just keep adding on to that and let the muscle harden up.
Bhuwan, I was going to tell you something. So I had the exact same problem you did in 2023. Me and Cuts' first show, I came in and I was full blown. Like I was full. My abs were a little bit washed out, but I loved the look. I was like, all this, I think I gained 9 pounds of new tissue from, I think it was, I took a year and a half and I couldn't get conditioned. So what I did for the next 2, 3 weeks is kind of like what you did. I hammered the cardio machines, man. I went down. Then I went to the Orlando show and I was absolutely peeled. Then I took another year. And it was so much more easier once I had that muscle on me for a year to get peeled for that next show that following year than it was the year before, because I was able to hold that muscle. My metabolism was a lot quicker. Just everything kind of came together because I was able to hold that for a longer period of time. Sometimes that new muscle, like you said, it's very hard to get used to, and it's very hard to prep with that new muscle because you don't know how it's going to act. I was eating, I think, running into the show, 200 grams of carbs per meal, like what Drew was doing during his prep. And I had never done that. I was usually on 100 grams for the whole day.
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
yeah.
I think that right there, you kind of just put the nail on the head. And like the guys that are watching, especially the amateurs and stuff, I think that's just something that I also say a lot. The new muscle needs time to kind of just get that. Even after 2 years, what I've really learned is like, yes, this next 6 months, 4 months, 3 months is where it's really gonna get, because now we are back to like depleting, getting shredded, but now it gets nutrition back. It's gonna stay there. It's only gonna get better, denser. And I think, Alex, you and I, that's the thing we need. We need that dense.
It needs to
See,
sit.
Bill didn't say to me, I need size. It was specific thing that he said, which is density.
Yeah.
And you and I have this issue.
It's the muscle that you do have, almost like this looking older and mature.
Yep.
That's
yeah.
Fellas. So I'm glad that we're having this talk, because I know this is something amateurs, pros, like, like they just have this thing. Density is different than size. Density is just holding that muscle and let it marinate and let it just harden up.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, okay, like just be cruising, just cruise mode. Just it's fine. It's there. I know it's there. I just wanted to see myself. That's why I'm happy with the package that I brought. Irrespective of the placing, guys are just better. The competition is fierce. I could have been better. These are all other things, but to me, I just know the muscle is there. Now it's just about fine-tuning it.
Brother, I couldn't agree more. And I think a lot of people are going to get a lot of value from that, because they don't see it that way. They see, like you said, muscle, but it's the density within the muscle that allows you to kind of have that maturity.
I'm glad that we talked about this, because I'm telling you, like you and I keep repeating that, because it is just such a different thing, and people just get in their head size. It's different.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We're not small. We just need density. If you were small, bro, you wouldn't be on the Olympia stage. Like we need density. So, again, Hart, Bhuwan, as always, brother, thank you guys for coming on. Hart, bro, welcome back to the men's physique division. I'm gonna say this very clearly, man. We need you to stay this time.
Very excited.
Yeah, no more.
We need you to say that stays, like this time.
I'll do my best. Hey, I'm gonna do my best.
Don't quit.
We're all happy, man. We're all very happy, excited. It brings a lot of memories back from back in the day, and I know like you're gonna just be you're just gonna do so great for the division that we need in men's physique right now.
I appreciate it, bro. My one sole goal is to just get more eyes, more people involved in men's physique, which it always has been. I just want more kids growing up getting into men's physique. That's literally it, because I love it, and I know they'll love it.
Oh yeah, perfectly.
I think both of you guys, honestly, Alex, like even you, I think both of you guys have been doing a tremendous job, and I hope like people actually reward you guys for the work that you put in. It is not easy to be consistent. It is not easy to keep putting out all of this content out, and you guys do it. Like Hart left, Alex, you took over the reign, and now both of you doing it together. Whew, good times are coming from Men's Physique.
And I think that's the best part, because I think our content, though similar, is different.
You have your styles. You don't. You both are like, yeah, you both doing it parallel is only going to take our division.
I think watching Hearts is a lot of the hot topics, it's fun, right? Like, but then also as somebody who wants to learn more about men's physique, you can actually see the show breakdowns. You can see what other people see, other professionals who've competed at a high level. You get two different worlds, two different personalities. And I said it, I can guarantee you my channel grows because Heart's back, and vice versa. It's not something where you have to have the whole pie to yourself. It's, you guys can keep eating and being in a fucking growth phase the whole time together, man. And that's about it.
We need that so much, man. Like this whole like stepping over each other and just having this bad competition, like even within the division, let alone like within like, it's just what you just said, right? Like there's just such a bigger pie and just growing together. And I think both of you, like with your styles, like I'm very excited. I don't know. I know viewers are going to be excited, but I know I'm very excited for you both. Just do your thing.
We appreciate you, man. And again, Hart, Bhuwan, thank you guys for coming on. You guys are always welcome on the podcast. If you guys ever need us, you know you're here for you guys. Guys, until the next episode, peace.